this. This is the largest marching unit in the Winter Carnival Parade this year. This is the Indian Head Council Boy Scouts of America Youth Marching Corps. Now, the reason that there's so many Boy Scouts here today is that they are celebrating their 75th anniversary. Quite an accomplishment.
There are 75 American flags, 1,500 marchers, all kinds of units. You can see as they pass by, they're carrying their individual flags. You might be able to identify some of them. If you can, you're a better man than I, Gunga Din, because it looks like a mass of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and whatever, but they certainly are enjoying being the largest marching unit in the parade today. It's almost curb-to-curb Boy Scouts we have going forward.
That's what I call spirit.
Well, what they're trying to do today is thank the community for 75 years of support. And let's hear what they had to say about that very idea.
Boy Scouts are celebrating their 75th anniversary, and we've got 1,500 boys in the parade today. And the reason for their involvement in the parade is they want to say thanks to St. Paul for 75 years of support.
That's great. I know that. And we'd like to say thank you to the Boy Scouts. They perform a wonderful service for these youths growing up.
When I was a Boy Scout, I never got a yellow plastic bag to wear, I tell you.
Well, Bill, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can dig one up for you.
See if I can pick one up now.
You know, last night they were camping out, believe it or not,
right,
on the grounds of the state capitol in igloo-type houses. They mounted up the snow and hollowed it out and camped out, and they got little badges that called them Zero Heroes for surviving.
And I guess they get a special merit badge for that. As you can see, incidentally, as they pass by us, here's the live eye taking a look at activities. But each of them has a number of kind of merit ribbons on the standards that they carry. Shows the kind of special efforts that they have been involved in.
And they come, and they come, and they come. Again, 1,500 boys have come to march in the parade today.
Now, not all of these people stayed overnight in igloos.
No, we should clarify that.
But along with the youngsters who did and got their Zero Hero awards were some Twin City celebrities who chose to do it too. I don't know if they survived quite as well as these young people or not.
They say that in those snow shelters that they built, they call them snow domes, that the Scouts' body heat, really kept them warm, so people shouldn't, worry unnecessarily about it. And the inside temperature inside their snow domes was a comfortable 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, they're in their down sleeping bags, and they survived in good shape, as you can see.
I'm not sure that I have ever slept through a comfortable 20 degrees. But we're coming to the last of the group now. And it's the largest unit in the parade is just about to come to an end. But they are not, for a moment, that surviving in the 20-degree weather overnight didn't shut down any of the energy at all. We're going to be back at the parade with a very special guest in just a moment. But first, we're going to take a break.
The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Chiropractic care has championed this concept of healthcare for decades and believes in the natural, drugless approach in aiding you to become a happier, healthier person and experience a sense of well-being. For further information, call the Chiropractic Communications Group at 927-2800.
Hi, Doll. These are for typing that report. Again.
Miss Smith, please type in one itsy-bitsy change, please.
No matter what type of boss you have, with a Panasonic 708 electronic typewriter, you won't have to retype. Its 8K memory stores what you've typed. Type in the corrections, and it does the retyping for you. So when your boss requests the word,
Where's that
letter?
Thank you.
It's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
At NSP, we can't help you avoid that winter weather outside.
but we can help you keep warm inside. With programs like home energy audits, attic insulation financing, and Budget Helper, with advice on energy savers like insulation and weather stripping. Call NSP for all the facts. We can't do away with Old Man Winter, but we can help you keep him outside where he belongs.
Energy NSP.
We have been joined in our broadcast booth by Meg Bennett of the CBS daytime serial, The Young and the Restless. And which are you today, Meg?
Of Young and Restless? I think I'm cold and restless.
Are you? Well, Meg is from California, originally from Pasadena, but you spent some time in the Midwest, haven't you?
Yes, I did go to school at Northwestern, so I've had a taste of this. But
so this kind of weather is not a total surprise to you. Meg, welcome to join us, and she's going to help us describe what's going in front of us. Actually, right now, the Vietnam Veterans of America group from the Twin Cities Metro chapter of that group are marching in front of us. They're wearing cold weather uniforms with different branches of the service.
You know, Meg, I've got to tell you that Michael Damian was in town about 2 months ago, and we covered him for PM Magazine here. It's not hit the air yet, and we've had so many calls.
Oh, he's very popular.
Yes. Maybe you want to tell us what he's really like for those fans watching.
It's funny, he's very much like Danny Romalotti. You know, his family, as you know, is a rock group, and they perform all over the country, so it's not anything new for him to be doing this, performing on the show. But he's terrifically talented.
The Festmaster from 1984. This is the the Lacrosse Oktoberfest float march going in front of us right now. And then approaching us from, you see in the distance there is the Borzoi Club.
That's right.
They're doing a very special maneuver down there. I wish they'd move down a little closer to our cameras.
These are Russian wolfhounds.
Aren't they beautiful?
They really are. And the club members are dressed in authentic Russian costumes. This club was established in 1973 with monthly business and educational meetings.
These wolfhounds look like a greyhound with a fur coat on, don't they?
Just right for St. Paul.
They are beautiful animals and very sleek and extremely fast. Rather large, 36, 40 inches, I would imagine, at the shoulder. Very tall animal.
Our next carriage rider is Mankato's Mr. and Mrs. Frosty, Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Miller. Now, the festival, which began January 19th and ends tomorrow, is sponsored by the Mankato Chamber of Commerce. It's driven by John Block, and the Surrey was manufactured in 1890. Not this Surrey, the one we just saw.
All right. Here's a celebrity marshal, Joe Kittinger. First solo balloon crossing of the Atlantic Ocean.
Isn't that remarkable?
Yes, indeed.
When did that happen, do you know?
I don't have that date, but it wasn't too long ago. La Crescent Apple Festival. La Crescent Apple Festival is something that takes place in the fall, obviously, when the apples are harvested. And it's one of the many regional festivals that contribute so much to our state of mind here in the Northwest area. I don't know. Those people don't seem to be dressed as warm as I would be.
No, they don't. Well, as the snow begins to fall here in Rice Park, we're looking at the Forest Lake Teen Clown Club. Now, they're the only nationally chartered clown club exclusively for teenagers in the United States.
Forest Lake, of course, just to the north of the Twin Cities. That's for Meg's benefit, because I guess most of us here know that Forest Lake is about 30 miles or so to the north of the Twin Cities. We are getting a little bit of snow.
Yes, it's snowing here in the booth.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not snowing outside. I meant in the booth. We are getting that. It does lend, of course, to the atmosphere for which the St. Paul Winter Carnival. You know, the Winter Carnival began 99 years ago to show the folks from around the United States who thought that the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul were just maybe 20 miles outside of Nome or something. It was to show them that we have a wonderful area, that we do enjoy our winters, and that we don't simply endure them, but participate in them. And that was the reason it began, and that's what it is, why it has lasted. Look at those llamas, aren't they wonderful? Those are Lulu's llamas, and from Lulu's llamas to Ralph John Fritz.
Okay, Bill, we're here with another one of the finishers in the Torturous 13, the half marathon, and this is Barb Krieger from
White Bear Lake.
White Bear Lake. Barbara, congratulations on finishing. We're told there's a little problem with frostbite out there.
Well, no, it wasn't bad. Cheeks got a little cold the last mile, but other than that, it's fine when you're running.
Okay, and Bill and Pat, we should also point out that it's not just men and women in this race, but you have a companion that you race with. Let's show the folks at home here. This is Sanders,
yeah.
Sanders is the, what? This is your running mate?
Yes, it's a golden retriever.
Golden retriever running mate in all marathons. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. He looks in good shape, too. Chippewa Falls represented here. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Pure Water Days.
The Chamber of Commerce there says that Chippewa Falls has the purest, most natural water in the world. I bet it's all frozen this time of year.
Coming up next is one of the very, very large festivals and long-time festival. As you can see on the top of the float, it says Hopkins 50th Raspberry Festival. That is midsummer, as a matter of fact, very close to the Minneapolis Aquatennial. We do a lot of festivals here, Meg.
It sounds like it. One big party after another.
That's right. That's the way we keep each other warm in the winter, and certainly we have lots of water sports in the summer.
Meg, let me take this opportunity to ask you, since you're from California, what was the weather like out there?
When I left?
When you left.
It was a chilly 69 degrees.
Oh, my goodness, a chilly 69. Now, isn't this more fun?
Oh, this is fun. It is.
That's the spirit.
I left there last night, and yeah, it was about, 69 is about what you had.
That's our winter weather.
St. Paul Central High School Band approaching us. The band is under the direction of John P. Gregerson, drum majors Barb Doherty and Tom Green. The Silks captain, you see the Silks in front of them, is Mary Darling. So as they are just about now approaching the range of our microphones, let's hear what we can hear on the St. Paul Central High School Band. Pat Brown, Bill Carlson, along with Meg Bennett of CBS, and we'll be back after this word.
Come back to Jamaica.
We will raft you into the sunset.
What's old is what's new.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We want you to join us.
We'll drench you with sunshine.
We made it for you.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again. And make it your own.
Make it Jamaica your new island home.
The look is lean and trim. The car is Cavalier. From today's Chevrolet. The well-honed power of a 2-liter electronically fuel-injected engine. The instinctive agility of front drive, Cavalier. It has the look and the performance for today's America. This is today's Chevrolet. It's fit.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Well, helping hand is helping chicken.
Introducing new Chicken Helper in 4 delicious varieties, like mushroom, chicken, and rice. You get wild and long grain rice in a mushroom sauce and a golden glaze for your chicken. Just place your fresh chicken in our savory rice and mushroom mix and bake.
In one pan here, 1 hour's time, a real chicken dinner bakes up fine. The helping hand has Chicken Helper. E-I-E-I. Uh-oh.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
We are back with a bang. These riders represent Jesse and Frank James, Cole Younger and his brothers, and other members of the gang who unsuccessfully tried to rob the Northfield Bank back in 1876.
Right behind them, a brigadier general, the military grand marshal of the parade, U.S. Army Reserve Curtis D. Norenberg, who is a brigadier general. The defeat of Jesse James' days is what they call that now. They have changed it from previous days when it was thought that perhaps it was glorifying Jesse a little too much. So now they call it the defeat of Jesse James.
And here is the Powder Puff Clown Club, sponsored by the American National Bank of St. Paul. They've participated here in the Carnival parades for the past 17 years.
Yeah, we have. How do you like? Now, see, Meg, everything isn't lost. The California lifestyle is living there in the hot tub. It may not be quite as hot, but it's...
In the past year, this group of dedicated clowns has received 9 first-place trophies and appearances throughout the region. I mean, these are classy clowns, I guess you could call them. They also spend many hours visiting shut-ins. And we asked their coordinator, Colleen Charles, what their specialty was, and she said, why, don't you know? Just clowning around.
Oh, my goodness. They have an official unit here that provides their music and their... That young lady is on a speed run, they say. And here are our competitors, but our friends nevertheless, from Channel 5.
They're out for a winter hayride. Personalities from KSTP television. Let's see, who do we see there? Looks like we've got Frank Somerville, Debbie Englam, Dennis Bounds, Bob Bruce, Dave Dahl, Dave Andrews, Robin Hubner, Steve...
Not aboard the one you're looking at now, though.
Oh, not the one now, the one that just went by.
Because the one you're looking at now has that characteristic 4 on it, and it kind of is a dead giveaway as to what it is.
Looks familiar. Of course, those are the WCCO television celebrities right there. Who's on board here? Mark Watts, Al Austin. Where's Bud? There's Bud over there with the red scarf on.
There's Mike Fairborn right up front.
That's right. Hi. There's Lisa Nee from PM Magazine. There's Mark.
Mark Watts, right? And Bud is on the other side with his...
He's hiding from us.
Al Austin is on hand as well. All from the staff of our very own Channel 4. Now, can you think of a nicer, warmer, more pleasant way to spend a Saturday afternoon, Meg? Come on, tell the truth.
That's a very loaded question. I have to tell you, I can't think of a nicer way. I can think of a few warmer ways.
It's a good time to be had by all. We're going to take a quick break from here, and we'll be back at the Winter Carnival Parade in just a moment. Don't go away.
We will raft you into the sunset.
What's old is what's new.
We'll match you at cricket.
We want you to join us.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We made it for you.
We'll paint you a picture.
So make it Jamaica.
We'll dazzle you with turquoise.
Make it your own.
We will excite your imagination.
Make it Jamaica.
We'll surprise you with Shakespeare.
Your new island home.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again, and make it your own.
Make it Jamaica. Your new island home.
If you're running out of ways to tell your boss the copier's broken, and you'd do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Every Panasonic copier, from our compact model to copiers that can grow into a complete system, are designed with advanced electronics to help prevent breakdowns. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
See famous figures skating in ice capades. Paul Martini and Barbara Underhill, world and 5-time Canadian champions, sensational skaters with incredible strength and beauty. Martini and Underhill, now in Ice Capades, where famous figures skate.
Ice Capades starring 1984 World Pair champions Paul Martini and Barbara Underhill, February 6th through February 10th at the St. Paul Civic Center. Tickets on sale now at the Civic Center and all Dayton's outlets.
Pat Brown with Bill Carlson and Meg Bennett back here at the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, and marching by our booth is the Sports Shack Cracker Jack Novelty Band. They've just been performing for the crowd here during that commercial break to a rousing ovation, I'd say.
They kind of do things their own way. You can see American National Bank, but right in front of that American National Bank unit are two real reindeer. Now, these are reindeer from the Minnesota Zoo.
I never knew that's what reindeer looked like.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, reindeer, they love this kind of weather, of course.
Yeah.
They're the only deer, put this in your fact file, they're the only deer that have hair all the way across their nose, as you can see.
Ah.
They are prepared for the, see, that's the way you prepare.
That's the trick, I think.
That's it. That's how you handle it.
And here's the American National Bank float, characterized by its outdoor winter theme, and they've incorporated antique items on board that some of their employees have collected.
Whoa, look at him.
Oh, my goodness. What you hear is people remarking over there he is,
Yeah.
what's following that National Bank float.
A guy is high on his bicycle, so to speak.
Let's hope he doesn't fall, my goodness.
You see, he has got that cooling fan, too, in case he gets too warm up there.
They say heat rises, right? He's from the River City Rascals Winona Clown Club. From the deep south, southern Minnesota that is, comes the River City Rascals.
That's a snowblower, if you didn't recognize it. They thing on camera. See, he picks up a shovelful and then turns the crank. Yeah, that guy is causing...
a real daredevil, I'll tell you.
See, there, you pick up the snow and then
And you blow it off,
There you go.
snowblower.
It blows it all around. Very handy.
Everybody wants to say hi to Mom, don't they?
Yes, every home needs one of those. Here's Pat's Ranchettes back here. This is Pat Brown's group. That it is your group, is
Not
it?
my group, Bill.
No. Okay.
Another Pat.
Pat Peer, School
Yeah.
of Dance and Stage Acts. They're strutting their stuff. This is a rhinestone cowboy kind of routine they're doing. Well, you can hear a little bit of sound in the background.
I think we ought to put them by the Shock Electronic Band.
That's what they need, yes.
Yeah.
It appears somehow that a lot of the folks are kind of falling in with the parade. I think we're losing some of our audience here, people who are deciding to march right along. We do have an award winner. Oh, there's a community bath, too. We do have an award winner coming here. This float, the winner of the King Boreas Award.
Deservedly so. That's spectacular.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Reminds me of home. The old Rosebridge.
Right. Yeah, except instead of flowers, we have balloons, which handle this kind of weather just a touch better than the roses would. Yeah. A circus theme to this float. Future fantasy, it says.
Add a little splash of color to winter here.
Right, a number of young folks riding aboard the float.
You know, a lot of work has gone into putting these floats together. They go by in a couple minutes, and I think they deserve a lot of appreciation. Isn't that nice?
Well, that youngster thinks it's nice.
That's right. Here comes the winner of the Titan Award, rounding the bend here in Rice Park.
It is the City of Columbia Heights float. A number of members of royalty aboard that float, but when they got a little bit closer, in the car in front of them, the applause you may hear in the background is because Paul Giel, who is the sports grand marshal, is riding in that float with a big M for the University of Minnesota. Paul Giel, who was an All-American when he was here and then played professional baseball, and for the last several years has been athletic director of the University of Minnesota.
Here's that float from Columbia Heights. They've sent their dignitaries and royalty in the form of Miss Columbia Heights Lori Menth with Princesses Susan Petkoff, Kelly Corbett, and Becky Felland.
Meg, have you ever ridden on a float?
Yes, when I was Northwestern's homecoming queen, I rode on a float. I was thinking, I know I've done this somewhere. Where did it happen? Yes.
You were Northwestern. Northwestern University, of course, just a little bit, Evanston, Illinois, isn't it? Just north of Chicago.
And here come the Harding High School Marching Band under the direction of Mary Stedfield. It's a 70-member band from St. Paul's East Side. Why don't we give them a listen?
As has to be obvious to anyone who has ever played a trumpet or anything like that, playing a trumpet in this kind of temperature is a challenge. It takes a little.
You freeze your lips to the trumpet.
Yeah, they usually have mouthpieces made out of other materials and so forth. What do we have here?
Well, Roses in the Snow is the theme for this entry from Webster, Wisconsinville. White sparkling snowballs are mixed in with the rose clusters and bouquets you can see there, and seated on her throne is Queen Kristen Newer, with Princesses Lori Sears and Dana Daniels. And
we had volunteered Meg for what is coming up here.
Oh, we had.
Yeah, see, but we thought we should look at it first, Meg. Now just watch. It's a long way
now
up.
watch this.
Oh,
they call it
great for that.
the St. Paul Athletic Bouncing Team, and let me tell you from personal experience, 2 years ago, I left Bill in the broadcast booth, went down there and had them toss me up in the air, and it's an experience I'll never forget because I've not experienced in that, and it's a lot tougher than it looks. It's a lot of fun, but you can get hurt if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm sure of it.
Well, Pat has been the way she is ever since.
Oh, now, Bill, be nice, be nice. I'll tell you, I went up so high that when I came down, I got a little case of whiplash. But these girls, see, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that frightened all of us a little bit that day because Pat seemed to be just fine for a little while, but then the world started to come in.
That's right, but I'm okay. I survived. And I'll tell you, these folks are a fine bunch of people.
Okay, they're going to do one more right in front of our eyes here. St. Paul Athletic Club.
I tell you, your heart is just beating a mile a minute when they do this.
She looks like hers is beating a mile a minute. She's done it before.
1, 2, let's go!
They've been doing that since the 1880s, so for over 100 years. I mean, not the same group of people, you understand, but
They've held up very well.
At first, they only did it with a man, but now, of course, they have the women do it too. Let's see what Dale sees from up high in the sky.
You're on. Okay, Bill. Right now, we're looking at the greater downtown area here. We're going to give you a little shot. Harriet Island is right now. They're trying to get the balloons launched for the Winter Carnival hot air balloon race. You can see down the river there, and the other side of the bridge, way out on Harriet Island. Just a couple of them taking off now and getting ready for that big balloon race. We're going to kind of wrap it up here. Visibility is getting a little bit down, and of course the balloons are getting up. So we're going to go put this on the ground and say good afternoon to everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the parade, and we'll be back again.
Okay, thank you very much, Dale. Thank you for being with us. Here's a 1905 steam pumper. Talk about going from a helicopter to a steam pumper. That's a change in transportation, isn't it? That actually did serve the city of St. Paul, as did the 1923 vehicle behind it. Now from St. Croix Falls comes another float.
Announcing the gateway to the Wild River. This float, sponsored by the St. Croix Falls Chamber of Commerce, depicts wildlife, flowers, and shrubbery. And that's not wildlife, flowers, and shrubbery there, but those are the folks from Hardware Hank's. Always a favorite, I think, in the parade.
Yes, they are. They're a strange-looking device because they extend way much higher than the individuals within them. As a matter of fact, give away a little secret. You see that window on the bib of the overalls in front? That's about where the face of the occupant.
Now, Bill, you're giving away their secret.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just between Meg and me.
Oh, so just between you and me. Don't tell us so. Oh. You know, I wonder if that's hot air they have inside there. I bet they're nice and warm. Maybe we should do the parade from one of those next year. Oh, here, he's looking right in our broadcast. Hello. Nice to meet you.
And they're all named Hank. It makes it a lot easier. Oh my, let's see what we have here.
I think this is Chuck E. Cheese's contingent.
Curious color. Well, that is Chuck E. Cheese is a chain of a pizza place.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it, Bill.
And, I just wanted to make sure you did.
There's a character, yeah.
That's right, mate. You keep him on his toes.
I couldn't think of the word, but it is. Pizza is the word.
These are the sweethearts of Minnesota pageants. We've got lots of beautiful young women on board. Teen Queen Rachel Nelson, Little Miss Queen Natasha Grodnowski, King Jason Jones, Petite Queen Lucy Olker, along with their state princesses and escorts. You know, this float was in more than 22 parades in Minnesota this summer. It's held up pretty well.
It has, and she'll have the young princesses. The kids just enjoy this so much, and it really is a very, very special experience for them. When do you head back to California for more of the Young and the Restless Men?
I think I'll be heading back tonight once we finish up today's
festivities.
Really?
Yes. And then you start taping right in front of the Prescott High School band here. Walking along in front of it is our mayor of the city of St. Paul, Mayor George Latimer.
How y'all doing? Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Hello.
He's a man the city of St. Paul loves very much. He's been mayor for a number of years, and that kind of greeting he was extending to the folks is an example of the kind of friendliness and the feeling that he has for the citizens of the city of St. Paul.
You know,
he's very much a populist kind of mayor.
He sure is. St. Paul's biggest fan, I'd say. Here we're looking at the Prescott, Wisconsin High School band, and something interesting to note is that 1/3 of the entire school is in the band.
Wonder who's tending the books today.
They were the champion band here in the St. Paul Winter Carnival parades in 70, 76, 77, 82, and 83. So let's see if they can do it again this year. Here they come.
Let's see if we can figure out where these horses come from. The Baytown Belgian, sponsored by Cub Foods, it says. This was not a scheduled, in our schedule at least, but they are beautiful Belgian horses. What was scheduled and is here is a float sponsored by the Salvation Army. Serving people 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, it says along the side. And anyone who has ever had any contact with the Salvation Army knows that that indeed is true. Sharing and caring, and they have been a part not only, as a matter of fact, they're a part of your Pasadena Rose Parade too. The Salvation Army is always as a present.
Here, I believe we have some members of the Western Saddle Clubs Association trotting on down the street here around Rice Park. I believe that is their current queen, Maren Steinke. And here's the West End Business and Professional Association unit, pulled again by some gorgeous horses. Now, kings and queens have their reins, but in this case, you can see the reins are in the hands of driver Sherman Link, who is guiding this team of Belgian draft horses.
Careful about those puns, Pat. We only allow 3 per broadcast.
Three per broadcast, okay.
Up to your quote.
I've got 2 more to come, don't I? A winner of the Vulcan Award.
Oh, this is a pretty one.
Isn't this nice?
I like the way those cars are decorated, like little floats.
Right.
They look like spaceships.
And now this float represents the Durand Commercial Club in the city of Durand. Regal purple, of course, sponsored by the Commercial Club.
Durand, Wisconsin, just across the river from us. Of course, many Wisconsin communities very, very close to our hearts and very much involved with us because almost a part of the metropolitan area, Wisconsin being only about, I guess, about 15 miles from where we are. Well, we're going to be back. There's still more units to go, so don't go away. We'll be back after this message.
Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups. It's real fruit and fun rolled up in one.
I wanna peel 'em when I'm sunning.
Fruit Corners.
I wanna wave 'em when I'm funnin'.
Fruit Roll-Ups.
I wanna dare 'em when I'm teasing.
Fruit Corners.
I wanna share 'em when I'm pleasing.
Fruit Roll-Ups.
It's the chewy snack made from real fruit. Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups.
I want real fruit and fun rolled up in one.
Fruit Roll-Ups. If it comes from Fruit Corners, it's made from real fruit.
Looks like you're into winning.
You bet.
Then today Chevrolet has a car for you. Cavalier.
Come on in, and you'll know. Turn it on, let it go. It's at your command.
2 liters of electronically fuel-injected power, front drive agility, and optional sport suspension. Cavalier. Grab one.
If this is today's Chevrolet, it's a winner.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Here's another thing, Meg Bennett, that we thought maybe you could do here to participate in the parade. Are you a good unicyclist?
Oh, one of my strong points, sure. I'll hop on board.
I had heard that about you, that you rode those one-wheel bicycles very, very. Now, actually, this is Twin City Unicycle Club, and they're always in both the Winter Carnival Parade and the Aquatennial Parade.
They make it look so easy.
And it's the entire parade run. I mean, it's not just past us, it's all the way.
Well, we don't know that. They may get off and walk the rest of the way.
And coming down the street is the Ellsworth Fire Department. Here they are with their authentic 1892 steam pumper, 1879 hand pumper, and an 1892 hook and ladder and hose cart. One right after the other. You suppose that really did any good back then? I guess it did.
Oh, well, I'm sure it did, yeah. Made you feel better anyway when you when you were out trying to that hand pumper, that's 1879. That first hand pumper there is 106 years old. How about that? Sure, yeah, they did well. Obviously not as well as the fire departments today, but certainly that's what you had to work with in those days. Wonderful to have things like this kept for us and kept in this kind of condition, so we understand how technology has changed. Boy, he's got a full head of steam up there, doesn't he?
I'd say so.
Do you think in 100 years they'll have our fire engines of today in a parade?
Could be.
They probably will.
Be. Do you think they'll have parades in 100 years?
This is the Broadway Pageant's production of Minnesota. They sponsor this dazzling entry representing the gold and glitter of the Entertainment Center in New York.
Broadway and 42nd Street, that sign says up front.
Now riding on this entry are Kelly Brozier, Broadway Miss Petite, Shalise Radlin, Broadway Young Miss, and Laura Buckhart, Miss Broadway.
Now you mentioned, Pat, that the hardware hanks are popular. I remember from my childhood, way back around the turn of the century,
way back when, huh, Bill?
that these Hilux gnomes have always been a part of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade ever since I can. During one parade, they're gnomes. During one parade, I called them the Hilux drips, and I was very, very severely reprimanded because they look like little driplets, don't they?
They do.
But they are gnomes, so don't forget it. Here's Miss Minnesota State Employment, it looks, Judy Caston. And see, they always have those sweepers, Meg, wherever they have a lot of horses. It's just a handy device to have around.
Yes, I bet it is.
From Chautauqua, Wisconsin, I believe. Yes, here we are from Chautauqua, Wisconsin, the Chautauqua High School Bulldogs. This group is a big group, and they've been with us before, several times, as I recall.
In fact, they were first place winners in last year's St. Paul Winter Carnival Band competition.
It looks like those girls only have blouses on, but believe me, they are well dressed underneath that.
They better be, yes.
Let's listen, the Chautauqua, Wisconsin Bulldogs.
Now here is the President's Award winner, the Spring Lake Park Tower Days Community Celebration Float. Now this float has appeared in both Aquatennial parades as well as 34 other parades in Minnesota and Wisconsin. And if you didn't know it, their celebration is held the second weekend in June. And their tower there is painted red, white, and blue, just like the float.
Behind Tower Days from St. Thomas Academy, the Honor Guard, 34 students strong. And behind that Honor Guard, they're wearing the uniforms of the Military Academy, of course. Behind the Honor Guard, aboard one of those half buses we were talking about, is the St. Thomas Academy Jazz Band. This is the Minnesota Boat Club moving by, and before we miss anything, because we don't want to do that, of course, they're going to go down on the Mississippi, but we're going to go to this commercial break. We'll be right back.
The look is lean and trim,
car is Cavalier. From today's Chevrolet. The well-honed power of a 2-liter electronically fuel-injected engine. The instinctive agility of front drive, Cavalier. It has the look and the performance for today's America. This is today's Chevrolet. It's fit.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
It's amazing how you feel each and every time you taste Yoplait, the yogurt of France.
Falling in love again. Oh, yes, it's true.
You can't resist Yoplait's creamy smoothness.
What am I to do?
The real fruit mixed all through. The taste is truly extraordinary.
I can't help it.
Get a little taste of Yoplait, the yogurt of France.
Falling in love again.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Hi, Doll. These are for typing that report. Again.
Miss Smith, please type in one itsy-bitsy change, please.
No matter what type of boss you have, with a Panasonic 708 electronic typewriter, you won't have to retype. Its 8K memory stores what you've typed. Type in the corrections, and it does the retyping for you. So when your boss requests the word,
Where's that letter?
Thank you.
It's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
Back here at the 99th St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, this is Pat Brown with Bill Carlson and Meg Bennett from The Young and the Restless.
There are our sister station, W Light, and all of those folks enjoying the Winter Carnival Parade. FM 103. That is W Light, and of course they are the sister station of WCCO AM and TV.
And right behind them are the good folks from WDGY, 1130 on the FM dial.
Past the WDGY, 1130 on the FM dial. Right.
Somebody.
Now here, marching 50 strong, we have this next unit, a partnership in labor and the United Way. They represent more than the 2,000 volunteers who annually devote time to seeing that the 65 St. Paul agencies maintain services for the St. Paul area.
Of course, they're all carrying banners representing their particular involvement. Local 12 of the Office and Professional Employees International Union making their presence known. And marching in another group. There's several different unions represented here. IBEW, Local 110. They are electrical workers and indeed broadcast employees as well.
That's right.
Followed by AFSCME, which of course are government workers. American Federation of, let me see, I can't remember the rest of it, but community services. There is their involvement for the most part. Carpenters Local 87 behind them, building St. Paul for over 100 years. How about that?
There's a personal message for someone watching, we hope.
Get well, George Lamson. That's the gentleman who, George Lamson was, of course, in the terribly tragic crash in Reno, Nevada. One of the 3 survivors. George Lamson and George Lamson Jr., both survivors incidentally. The UAW, United Auto Workers, Local 879.
And the Minnesota State Conference of Painters and Allied Trades.
I think this is as large a representation of unions as I've ever seen in either this parade or the Aquatennial Parade.
I agree with you, Bill. I don't remember this a couple of years ago.
Meg, to an outsider, it may seem a little unusual for us to constantly, yes, do wave, to be constantly mentioning the Aquatennial, but it is a team. The Twin Cities indeed are twins, and both of us from both cities participate in both festivals. The Winter Carnival in St. Paul in the winter, the Aquatennial in Minneapolis in the summer. All those folks that you see down around trying to make their way around the corner because they're all nailed down to the same long board there. So making a corner is a little more difficult than the straightaway.
They're the only group in the parade that literally cannot get out of step.
That's right.
It's the Ascoff Precision Marching Unit. They're from Ringer's Bar in Ascoff.
Meg, I know in show business they say break a leg. Well, this is what they're talking about.
I want you to know that these guys traveled all the way from Duluth. I hope not this way.
Walking this way?
No, not this way. Captain George Noss leads the pack of marchers and clowns. And I want to tell you that these wild and crazy guys have really big hearts. In fact, they've donated any cash winnings to Camp Courage for disabled children. Way to go, guys.
They've worn out 6 2x4s, I understand. See, they are prepared for something too. See, just in case on the behind there.
Looks like somebody already bit the dust there.
Or something. Well, as we draw close to the end of our parade today, City of Blaine is represented by a beautiful and large float. Once again, the theme is red, white, and blue. The royal family from Blaine, Miss Blaine is Shelley Sen, Princesses Sheila Ranham, Michelle Grando, and Pam Spaeth. Junior ambassadors are aboard. There is an entire royal family indeed.
And of course, on that float, they're depicting the fireworks that you'll see at their blazing 4th of July celebration. And right behind the City of Blaine float, we see the Red Wing royalty riding in this 1930 Model A Roadster. Our Red Wings River City Days 1984 royalty. Miss Red Wing, Lori Meyer, and her princesses, Jane Nadeau and Candy Henderson.
Now there's a car.
That's a 1954 Jaguar Mark V. And the fellow aboard is Rocky Rococo. Look at that. He symbolizes another pizza chain we were talking about before. Now, Valley Fair, just following him and all these characters, is a very large amusement park just to the south of the Twin Cities, south and west of the Twin City area. Not open this time of year, but a favorite place for many of the youngsters of our area during the summer season. Following it, the Wild Bunch. I don't know where the Wild Bunch is from, and apparently neither does anyone else.
We don't ask.
Pretty wild. Look at these guys.
Yeah, that's another way to. I tell you what, if those horses decide to go different directions, those gentlemen are going to have an interesting balancing act.
They could be in a lot of trouble, yeah.
And as you can see, things are pretty much winding down here. We're going to take a break and be back to just pack things up.
Come back to Jamaica.
Come run on a ribbon of white sand.
What's old is what's new.
Come ride our gentle trade winds.
We want you to join us.
Come daydream in a private cove.
We made it for you.
Come share the incomparable variety that brought Noel Coward home to Jamaica year after year. Come, make it Jamaica again and again.
Make it Jamaica, Jamaica again.
You're the worst pitcher in the history of baseball. I'm too tired to be inspired. That's because you didn't have a good breakfast like I did. A Cheerios breakfast.
When you fuel up with a nutritious breakfast like this one with tasty low-sugar Cheerios, those also help keep you on your toes.
Thank you, Lucy.
Right.
All I ever needed was a manager.
You're on your toes with Cheerios.
There's never been a cereal like this before. There's
Raisin in the middle.
of Kellogg's Raisin Squares.
Raisin in the middle.
Kellogg's Raisin Squares.
It's the perfect combination. combination.
Whole wheat sweetened with raisin, all wrapped up in a perfect square. It's very unexpected to find it there.
Raisin in the middle.
Naturally sweet raisin.
Raisin in the middle.
Kellogg's Raisin Squares.
Raisin in the middle.
You're gonna like it there.
Kellogg's Raisin Squares.
I like small cars.
We need more room.
Today, Chevrolet has a car for you, the midsize celebrity.
Feel the room, ride in style, go in comfort every mile.
Enjoy midsize room with economy and a price that's surprisingly small. Celebrity.
Lots of stuff here. If this is today's Chevrolet, I like it.
And we need it.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Well, the parade has ended, at least from this location, and although thousands of people marched in the parade today, about 1,500 ran, some 26, some 13. Ralph John Fritz is on hand at the finish line to tell us how things are going. Ralph?
Bill, I fed you. I was a bundle of misinformation earlier. I told you about half of the runners went the halfway point. That was actually about 1,200, and about 215 or so went the 26 miles. And here's the winner, Tom Eisenrich of Plymouth. And Tom, you had a little problem about 2 miles from the finish.
Well, just with my hamstring started to tighten up a little bit, but I knew that I was gonna make it. My biggest problem was I almost turned down the wrong street.
Are you serious?
I got ahead of my blockers, or the people ahead of me got caught in traffic, so I got ahead of them, and then there was really no help. You know, I don't know, I wanted to go that way for some reason. I wanted to take a right. And then I stopped and I hollered at somebody and they said, keep going. So
we're happy that you finally did get to the finish line.
That would have been
disastrous,
terrible.
huh?
Yeah.
Well, Tom, I know a lot of people that enter these races don't really plan on winning. They just want to finish. How about you when you came in here?
I wanted to do well. You know, I'm not a super fast runner, but I'm a tough runner.
Well, I guess you are, and you did very well. Your time, I think, was what, 2:33 or thereabouts?
Yeah, I think it was right in there.
We don't have that official yet, but that's pretty close, and it was better than last year. We congratulate you. I know you want to get inside. Again, congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Tom Eisenrich, the winner from Plymouth. And that's it from here, Bill and Pat, so back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ralph John. There's a reason they call that the torturous 26.
That's for sure, and our congratulations to Tom as well. You know, along with the Winter Carnival parades comes, of course, dozens of fun-filled activities. Let's take a look now at a calendar of events of some of those things in store waiting to join in all the fun.
Felines from household pets to purebred will be competing in the St. Louis City Cat Show today and tomorrow at the St. Paul Exhibition Hall. The Roseville Figure Skating Club will present a figure skating exhibition on Sunday, February 3rd at the Roseville Ice Arena. Watch the best amateur talent at the Winter Carnival's Amateur Talent Contest Finals, Monday night, January 28th, 7 p.m. at the Prom Center. Come hear some of the best fiddlers in the country at the Winter Carnival Fiddle Contest, Sunday, February 3rd at Anglin's Warehouse. Delight in the sounds of jazz at the Landmark Center starting Thursday, January 31st. This is the first of a 6-concert series. Partake in the fun of the Farm, Food, and Craft Fair at the Market House in Lowertown, January 26th and 27th. Get a refreshing taste of the South at the Hispanic Winter Fiesta held at the Landmark Center, Friday, February 1st. The St. Paul Civic Center Fun Fair will include everything from a children's playland and giant slide to an indoor midway and live concerts, January 31st through February 3rd. The mixed Bonspiel curling competition will be held at the St. Paul Curling Club on January 25th through 27th. The Ringette Tournament will be held February 1st through 3rd at the West St. Paul Arena. This year, there will be 3 ice skating rinks open during Winter Carnival: the rink at King's Courtyard in Rice Park, the rink at Mears Park Sculpture Garden, and the rink at Capitol Mall. For more information on any of the Winter Carnival activities, call The Connection at 922-9000.
Oh, there's something for everybody.
As you see, though, the Carnival Parade, the Grand Day Parade, has ended. The Carnival has just begun, and we're going to be back here at the Grand Day Parade location in just a moment.
Come back to Jamaica.
We will raft you into the sunset.
What What's old is what's new.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We want you to join us.
We'll drench you with sunshine.
We made it for you.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again. And make it your own.
Make it Jamaica your new island home.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
America is coming home. America is coming home. America is coming home to the good taste of butter.
Nothing has the pure, natural taste of real butter. You know butter makes good food taste better.
America is coming home to the good taste.
It's good to be home.
If you're running out of ways to tell your boss the copier's broken and would do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Our compact copiers have advanced electronics to help prevent breakdowns. The magnifying toning process makes great copies, great reductions too. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.